I'm Rick Buck, and I've been a dentist for 16 years. Since Amazon doesn't let people respond to reviews, and a lot of times reviews are insane, I thought I would respond to the most ridiculous reviews of the EZZI toothbrush on YouTube. But the reason I'm gonna do that is because the responses to these reviews actually reveal the reasons why the toothbrush is the best toothbrush. So while I've been a dentist for 16 years, I've been reviewing toothbrushes for about 6. So let me just put that out there. So let's start with this insane review by this person that we're gonna call Mr. Anonymous. He states, I am a licensed professional engineer, mechanical, with a concentration in acoustics. And then the review gets crazy. Then he says how the toothbrush, if it hits the plastic of the body or other things, it would create a frequency in the human hearing range according to the math he does. His math is terrible, and this is just, I don't even know where this guy's coming from. But in case you're worried, let me just settle this for you. The average frequencies and vibrations per minute in each mode, if you want them, are here, and none of the frequencies of any of the modes of this toothbrush are what he states, and also it's not problematic at all. But let's take his greater point seriously. He seems to be worried about the noise and maybe the possible damage it would do to the ear. I assure you, along with some of the other people who have responded online, and that is that they feel, and I feel, it is really quiet compared to other sonic toothbrushes, especially for how powerful the brush is. The first two modes that I recommend for almost everyone are around 35,000 vibrations per minute. And the reason I recommend those modes is that the amplitude or width of each vibration is wider and can clean a wider surface area while close to the same pace and even faster than a lot of the more common electric toothbrushes that are on the market. So they're faster and have a wider range. So since he's talking about frequency and amplitude and all these things, my toothbrush is faster than most of these other toothbrushes and way wider. In fact, if you want the information on that, here's the chart of all the vibration amplitudes at each mode. And the amplitude of the vibrations is where the EZZI toothbrush just blows all the other brushes out of the water. Look how wide the leading sonic toothbrush vibrates versus how long the EZZI toothbrush amplitude is. I mean, it absolutely blows all the other toothbrushes and this one out of the water. When the EZZI toothbrush vibrates, look how wide the bristles reach. It almost reaches 17 to 18 millimeters across. The other leading brush is around maybe 13 millimeters. While all this has to do with the frequency, it also has a lot to do with another part of his review. And what is funny is in this review, he states he doesn't like that there's a gap between the brush body and the brush head. The problem with this statement is that if you make that a seamless transition by closing that gap, as he states I should have done, is that it would put more pressure on the shaft of the brush head, dramatically affecting the amplitude and the power and the frequency of the brush. And this is one of the great features of the EZZI toothbrush, is that if too much pressure is put on it, it dramatically slows down so it won't ruin your teeth. And that does happen quite a bit with hard bristled toothbrush, and people that are too aggressive in brushing, their teeth will wear down. And that should happen with almost every toothbrush on the market. The problem is if you put too much pressure on that brush head, its efficacy slows down dramatically, whether it has it built in like my toothbrush or it doesn't like other toothbrushes. It still is just gonna lower the efficiency of the toothbrush by slowing down its power and its amplitude. The funny thing is this guy's supposedly an engineer, which I highly doubt he's an engineer, but a good engineer would also have known that. Also, this gap is in a really good place, might I add. Have you seen all the Oral-B toothbrushes where all the gunk gets trapped in the brush head where you put your mouth all the time? It's pretty nasty. The EZZI design is way better and keeps any gunk buildup away from your mouth and in an easy to clean spot. You can just quickly remove the brush head, wipe it clean, put it back on. Quickly, before I get into the most interesting part, I developed the best toothbrush, floss, and other dental products that are in Amazon affiliate links in the description. And these dental products are more advanced and will give you a stunningly clean mouth. You should watch my videos about why they are the best posted at the end of this video so you brush and floss with superior results that avoid gum disease, cavities, and give you fresh breath. Now for the question we always get about our charcoal bristles. First, why do we use them? Charcoal bristles are antibacterial and are proven to have less than half the bacteria on them than regular brushes after brushing. So here's the concern people have about charcoal that this reviewer erroneously wrote about too. Like Mr. Anonymous, people get worried because there are a lot of studies that show how abrasive charcoal toothpastes are. These toothpastes, while abrasive, are still considered safe by the American Dental Association. The bigger problem with equating the charcoal bristle and the charcoal toothpaste is that the size of the charcoal particles are extremely different. The charcoal particles in the toothpaste are meant to be large and the ones in the bristles are meant to be small. You see, dental product companies like to brand their charcoal toothpastes as whitening toothpastes. To have a whitening toothpaste without peroxide, toothpaste needs to be abrasive enough to remove surface stains, not the intrinsic stains, but surface stains. The size of the charcoal or other particles is what makes them abrasive, and so they try and make these charcoal particles abrasive. The size of these charcoal particles in the toothpaste is around 4 to 7 micrometers, which is extremely small. And the size of the charcoal particles in the bristles of the EZZI toothbrush is anywhere from 1 to 70 nanometers. That is about 1,000 times smaller than the charcoal particles in the toothpaste. So, if the charcoal particles are considered safe by the ADA and their abrasiveness is based on the size of how big they are, and these are 1,000 times smaller, you can imagine how safe the bristles and the charcoal in them are, and now they're antibacterial as well. Now, to illustrate this a little bit more, if the charcoal in the toothpaste was the diameter of a basketball, the particle size of the bristles is about the diameter of maybe like 2 or 3 hairs next to each other. Not the length of the hairs, but the diameter of them, maybe stacked side by side, would be like 2 to 3 hairs of diameter compared to a basketball. Are the bristles completely safe? Yes, they are completely safe. The two things that make bristles abrasive are how stiff or soft they are and how big or small the particles are that make them abrasive. So the EZZI bristles are extremely soft and the particles are extremely small. So much so that they don't even really do studies on it, even with how popular the charcoal bristles have become. They do studies on the charcoal toothpaste because they know. And look at these responses when someone in the Amazon question sections answered how soft the bristles are. To paraphrase, they're very soft. You can see this line of thinking is exactly what this Mr. Anonymous did as he posted a link to an article about charcoal in toothpaste and said the ADA has an opinion on it when the ADA doesn't have an opinion on charcoal in the bristles of toothbrushes, as he states they do. But that being said, my standard in abrasiveness is way more strict than the ADA, even in toothpaste. Their standard in the relative dentin abrasivity score, the RDA score, for an acceptable toothpaste is 250. My standard in the RDA score is way less abrasive. So the bristles are softer, have a very low risk of abrasion, and are twice as antibacterial. And because of the bristle design, they are more effective in removing plaque, which is the ultimate goal, as long as you're not ruining the tooth in the process, and you're way less likely to ruin your tooth in the process with the EZZI toothbrush. So now let me get to these reviews, because in a lot of these bad reviews, a lot of them actually post very positive parts. And so I just want to go over some of those. So Mr. Anonymous can't even help but state that the EZZI toothbrush's cleaning power is a 5 out of 5. He says, I would say this is one of the best toothbrushes for getting your teeth squeaky clean. Funny, because he agrees it was the best in the category I was evaluating in that video. I was solely grading it on its ability to clean plaque, but apparently it was wrong for me to say that. It's just that it's okay for him to say that. doesn't make sense. The only thing that I would add to what he said is that it is the best. At least even the worst reviews can't help but notice how well it cleans, which is the most important part, and especially since it's way safer for your teeth in the process. So it's just too bad he found things that were wrong that weren't even wrong. P.S. That guy should watch all my videos on tooth sensitivity because he mentions that a couple times, and this toothbrush is excellent for tooth sensitivity. There are only a few actually other bad reviews at this point, but I thought some of them actually posted some great things about the brush. This review is from a guy named Kenneth, and he says the same thing about the charcoal may be bad. And he says the same thing, he didn't see my affiliation to the toothbrush when he watched the first video, even though it was apparent, blah, 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 blah. You can get there if you just watch the video without skipping. My bet is a lot of these guys just skip through the video. Anyway, he also notes how good the battery is. The battery life is seriously unbelievable compared to other brushes, making it great for extended travel and especially for the price we have it at. And I could have gone for a lower battery, but I did not want to skimp on anything that has to do with this toothbrush. His first claim is about my original video reviewing EZZI and my affiliation with the EZZI toothbrush. It reads, "What that video does not tell you is that Dentist Buck of Baseline Dental is also the owner of EZZI toothbrush brand here in the United States." Once I found that out, it was time to do some digging into the design of this toothbrush. So he thinks that for some reason I was hiding that, which is odd because first of all, I say in that video, I found the brush in another company and bought it so I can sell it here in the US. So I don't know what digging the guy did. I explain in that video that I sell that toothbrush, and I explain it more in the pinned comment below. So I don't know what digging that he had to do. So it's all right there. This statement also is in the Amazon page where I sell the toothbrush on the product page. And right there on that product page where he bought the toothbrush, I explained that I own the brand that owns EZZI toothbrush in the United States. So imagine the intense digging he had to do to scroll down even further on that page to find out that I, the owner of EZZI toothbrush, started by reviewing toothbrushes as he saw in the video that led him from there to my toothbrush. And then imagine the digging he had to do to notice that the video footage on the Amazon page where he bought the product is my mouth that you saw from the original video that he watched on YouTube. So now for him and other people that have had this concern, I've made another video reviewing the toothbrush with more of an explanation of how I am the owner of the brand. And then I show in that video how I originally found the toothbrush in another country, tested it, found out that it was the best, then decided to sell it here in the United States with all this footage that you're seeing right now. And now it does give me a conflict of interest to review toothbrushes that I didn't have when I first tested out the EZZI toothbrush as another brand. As long as I'm being honest, you can see this is a good thing. I knew what made a toothbrush good, and I've tested tons of toothbrushes. And like this one, a lot of those have never even made it onto my channel. So what you're watching right now is the footage from that original toothbrush that I found and its results. And in case you didn't notice, that footage was from May of 2022, and it wasn't till the end of 2022 when I started selling the EZZI toothbrush so that my viewers here in the United States can do something with it. So as you can see, the results are amazing. I already knew the features that make an electric toothbrush better than others, so I just had to find a toothbrush that had all of those features. I should have originally posted what made me unbiased and my journey, but now I have done that in another video so that everyone can understand perfectly well. And now that I've found what I consider the best toothbrush, it's available for everyone to have here in the United States. Look how clean it left my teeth with brushing and flossing. What would you do in this similar situation? Then there are these types of reviews from David Hales, where he left a bad review initially, and once we worked with him through the issues, he rewrote the review at how blown away he was by the toothbrush. It is that good. Anyway, it is the best toothbrush for just about everyone. And I don't say that about my floss either. Don't believe me? Watch my floss video where I explain that EZZI floss is the best floss for probably about 80% of the people and not for everyone else. But for that 80% of people, it is the best. And I lay out who should and shouldn't use the floss because I would rather you be happy than just get another sale on my floss. So get the brush, and when you love it, you can write a good review to counter all these ridiculous bad reviews. And that would just be awesome if you did that for me. Watch all my daily tooth care videos I have posted now for the best technique, tips, and products for a stunningly clean mouth that avoids tooth decay and gum disease and gives you fresh breath and white teeth. My dental products are in Amazon affiliate links in the description below this video. If in Southern California, my dental office is in the description as well. Like and subscribe to my channel if you have teeth.